peacefully to the regional EC boss. But then the routes changed early in the morning. So the supporters alongside the executives had to use the regional coordinating council stretch and then move on to the regional EC office. We realized that in the Ashanti region, the regional coordinating council shares the same wall with the regional EC head office, while the supporters of the NDC were resisted from having their way into the regional EC office. And upon the resistance by the Ghana Police Service, some supporters decided to break the barricades by the Ghana Police Service to make their way into the EC office, which we are being told is a security zone. Earlier on, the agreement was that some executives alongside a few supporters would make their way into the regional EC office, the premises of the EC boss, to present the petition. But then, upon this particular agreement that was made earlier, some supporters refused to go by it and also join the executives to present the petition to the EC boss. That is what brought upon the resistance by the Ghana Police Service. While the police were trying to resist this attempt by the supporters, majority of them decided to break the barricade and make their way into the premises of the EC. And the police decided to resist that. Well, the resisting attempt by the police was met by some chaotic scenes by these supporters because they were large in number, who were able to make it very easy for themselves to walk into the premises of the EC. Due to that, the police arrested some 3 individuals and also got some people injured because we've been told that tear gas were being fired at these supporters. We can take a listen to the national organizer of the NDC, Joseph Yamin, who led the protest in the Ashanti region.
We have to use the back route near the Abaha, only for the police to block the entrance to the Electoral Commission. Yes, so your petition is to bring to the Electoral Commission. How do we stand out there and petition the Electoral Commission? And we want to tell the police that they won't get their way. If they want, we will all face it. And I'm not sure it is going to be NDC members alone who will fall. Some policemen will also fall. And what will be the good for our country?
What the police is telling us is that your people broke into the regional EC head office, which is against the conditions they had with you earlier.
What policy is that? What kind of agreement is that? Is the EC office at the entrance there? Is the EC office on the main street? Didn't you see their tank on the main street?
But why did they fire the gunshots?
You see them block the main street. Is the main street the same as this place that we are?
They were refusing you entry because your people are not allowed to come here as a security zone.
They allow us to. Since when did this place become a security zone? We are supposed to petition the Electoral Commission. Are we to petition them on the road? Did you see the Electoral Commissioner here coming to the road to come and see our petition?
Is any NDC member hurt at the moment?
Yeah, of course. As of now, I know, and I'm not sure it is only the NDC. I'm sure some policemen are also hurt.
We have realized that one policewoman is hurt right now. From your end, is anybody hurt?
Unconfirmed, but I know because of the scuffle, no matter what, somebody will be hurt.
Well, Nana, there were reports that the Ashanti regional chairman may have been attacked.
Exactly, Kojo. You realize that due to the scuffle that happened at the premises of the EC boss, the police had to put in resistance measures so as to not to allow these supporters have their way into the office of the EC boss. You realize that upon arriving at the premises of the EC head office in the Ashanti region, the supporters wanted to join the executives in entering the office of the EC boss. That is one thing that the police really did want to resist. And that is what led to the attack, the alleged attack on the regional chairman. He was attacked because when he was trying to maneuver his way into the conference room of the EC, the policeman who he says attacked him did not recognize him as the Ashanti regional chairman. To him, he suffered a dirty blow.
What are you doing? And nobody's going to live here. Nobody's going to live here. What are you doing? What are you doing to me? Is it fair? What are you doing? Clear the road before I go in there. Nobody will push him. Clear the road before I go. Clear the road first.
Chairman, what are they doing to you? What are they doing to you?
No, clear the road. When you call me, I'll come.
Chairman, what are they doing to you?
Sir, please, person has given me a dirty blow.
He has given you a dirty blow.
Dirty blow. And we know him.
Why did he give you the dirty blow?
I'm trying to enter into the premises and he gave me a dirty blow. And
They are saying that place, you are not allowed to get inside there with your supporters. You are the only person who can go there and present a petition.
Yeah, and they are refusing me.
Because your people are gathered over there.
So they should do the right thing, clear the road so that I go inside. Unless nobody is going there. And we are going to sleep here until tomorrow.
So that is the NDC's regional chairman there. Now, let's deal more with it because Nana Bwachi Yadom is still with me. Nana, how were the EC office glasses shuttered?
Well, the main gate that leads to the conference room of the EC or to the inner perimeter of the EC's office was shuttered by these supporters. And it was a glass door, and so they broke into it. But the police also did well by making sure that despite breaking the door, shutting the door, they would not have access into the inner perimeter of the EC office. The main gate into the premises in itself was also destroyed by these supporters who besieged the office this afternoon.
And we also heard about some arrests. Tell us more about that.
Well, these three persons who were arrested, as I said earlier, were forcing to find their way into the premises of the EC. Well, the police tried to resist them because the agreement they had with the regional NDC was that a few executives alongside a few supporters would make their way into the premises to petition or to send a petition to the regional EC board. But then these supporters were expecting that the police would make way for all of them to move into the premises of the EC board. When the police resisted that attempt, they broke the barricade and then pushed the police off and made their way inside there. The police brought in reinforcements and made sure that some three persons they were able to identify got arrested. And as I speak now, we have the confirmation that they've been granted bail.
Grateful to you, Nana Bwachi Yadom there. Let's now focus on the Greater Accra region because a lot more happened in the capital as well. And my colleague Maxwell Agbaba has been there all day with the team and joins me in studio with more. Maxwell, it was peaceful here in Accra, was it not?
Well, it was very peaceful to the extent that the chairman of the NDC himself, Asiedu Inketia, he said that it has been a very peaceful, process, and he compared it to the Kume Prekun demonstration. The success of this demonstration, he said, except that people did not die, it wasn't chaotic, and he applauded, the police for being very professional with their job. But for a little over 5 kilometer walk from the circle here through to the Central Business District all the way to Parliament House and then to the offices of the Electoral Commission. It was very peaceful, no scene, very intense. At some points, the police had to occasionally move their barricades, to ensure that people do not get into the Central Business District and that they restricted themselves to just the approved routes. And one thing that also happened, interestingly, was that the demonstrators said they were not in a hurry to move. So you realize that often the police will be walking faster, brisk walking, just to get the demonstrators to move because there was a congestion, in the Central Business District, and they needed to free up the place. But the demonstrators said they are going to walk majestically, and in fact, they did that. At some point, at the Independence Avenue, for instance, the intersection very close to the National Theatre, for instance, some of the protesters sat in the middle of the road, and you could see commuters, some of them going to the Central Business District, some of them going to Medina and other parts of the capital, frustrated. For the protesters, it was the impact that they were looking for.
Okay.
And by delaying the process, they felt that they had achieved, a lot. But it was largely peaceful.
Now, when they go to Parliament,
they
presented their petition to, the minority and majority leaders of the House.
Yeah.
What exactly were their demands?
So, in Parliament, we had the General Secretary of the NDC, Civic, reading the demands to Parliament. One of them is 1, permit an independent forensic audit of the voters register and its IT systems. 2, convene stakeholders for collaboration. Now they're talking about the Electoral Commission should urgently convene a meeting with all political parties, civil society organizations, and key international stakeholders, including ECOWAS, AU, UNDP, EU, USAID, the British High Commission, and others to discuss the forensic audit and ensure collective oversight of the process. And then 3, agree to publish the findings of the forensic audit. Now they said that the results of the forensic audit must be made publicly available to ensure transparency, accountability, and confidence in the electoral process ahead of the 2024 general elections. 4, they should re-exhibit the register after the forensic audit. Now, they also say that they should review and correct all unauthorized transfers, and then also adopt a revised timeline for electoral activities. And then lastly, institute accountability and integrity measures.
Now, at Parliament, after they had presented the petition, the minority leader, Dr. Kesela Tuforsen, then assured the NDC that they will ensure they will convene, a side will convene, and if it's possible, recall the House to attend to these demands. Let's listen to Dr. Kesela Tuforsen.
But let me say that no one should be allowed to mess with the peace of our country. We cannot allow the Electoral Commission to destroy the most enduring democracy of this republic. Unfortunately, this petition is coming at a time that Parliament is on recess. But I strongly believe that if there is anything that will warrant an emergency recall of Parliament, this is certainly one of them. So the NDC minority will immediately convene a caucus meeting and consider the need to recall Parliament to address this issue. We consider this as an emergency. And just like my colleague has done in the past, we will do similar by recalling Parliament to address the very concerns that you have raised. We thank you very much for this opportunity.
So that was Dr. Kesela Tuforsen there, assuring the NDC of what his side intends to do. We saw the majority leader there as well. Did he say anything?
Yes, the majority leader, Fenyo Markins, assured the NDC that they would cooperate and then make sure that they discuss the discussions that they're talking about, get the key stakeholders involved to hold discussions on the subjects of getting a forensic audit of the voters' roll. He also talked about the fact that he's been a beneficiary of that system before, where he took the Electoral Commission to court over the district assembly elections. We can hear from him.
I agree with the minority that as a house, we may have to look at the issues presented. And I encourage all stakeholders to also avail themselves. I standing here is on record of having taken EC to the Supreme Court to stop a whole district assembly elections for some irregularities and illegalities. And I made my case at the Supreme Court. That's a matter of record. And I believe that if there are genuine concerns, we can all raise it and discuss them on the table by following lawful means. So I thank you for making time to get to us. I'm sure Mr. Speaker would hear your prayer.
So that was the majority leader. Now, then the procession continued to the Electoral Commission headquarters, where the petition was presented to the Commission to then do exactly what the party is looking for. What was the response by the Commission?
So the petition was received by Samuel Tete, who is a deputy commissioner in charge of operations. You remember he had stoked criticism and controversy when he said that the 2016 register had pictures of plants and animals representing, voters. So he was the one who received the petition, and he said we're going to look at it.
Don't worry. Thank you very much, and let me welcome you to the corporate head office of the Commission. On behalf of the Commission, I will receive your petition, and I will assure you that your petition will be presented to the Commission for consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's Samuel Tete, who is Deputy Commissioner at the Electoral Commission. This is the... Well, let's do more on this by bringing in Sami Jeffy, who is National Communications Officer of the NDC. Sami, grateful for you to join us here. Now, I mean, you had set objectives before you embarked on this particular protest. Did you achieve your set objective?
Yeah, I think that to the extent that the demonstration was a very massive one, to the extent that all the regional capitals had very successful demonstrations which have been largely peaceful, and to the extent that the issues we are concerned about have been put on the front burner and are being discussed, including this very esteemed platform, I would say that the demonstration has been impactful. However, we wait to see what the response of the Electoral Commission will be. And we have decided to wait for just a week to know how they are going to respond. It is our expectation that they will do the needful, because clearly the intransigence they are displaying is not in the interest of Ghana. It is not even in their own interest. Look, Ghana is the only country we have. Many Ghanaians, those who came ahead of us, our forebears, have made sacrifices for the peace and stability we enjoy today. The least the G-Nelson-led Electoral Commission can do is to preserve the peace we are enjoying. Elections are important because they are the platform through which the people choose who their leaders are. The choice is for the people to make and not the Electoral Commission. And all we are saying is that allow the people to make that choice in a free, fair, and transparent manner. All we are asking for is a credible voters register to underpin free, fair, and peaceful elections.
Now, Sami, I mean, just before today, the Electoral Commission has been speaking. I remember Bosman Asare speaking to MFA Apao on the probe, said that already the issues that you've pointed out are being worked on, so there was no need for even this demonstration. You are giving them 1 week. If after 1 week nothing happens, what will the NDC do?
Well, first of all, let me deal with the first point you made, that the EC says the issues we have raised have already been corrected. If that is the case, then why are they asking us for evidence and data? If they themselves have admitted the issues we have raised and say that they have actually corrected them, then why are they calling us for evidence and data? Number two, if indeed they have already corrected the issues of concern to us, then why are they resisting an audit? Why are they refusing to share the corrected version of the register with us? Why have they said, the director of electoral services has said, that they are not even going to re-exhibit the so-called corrected register? Why? So clearly, you can do your own deductions as a discerning mind. And if you do so, you come to the irresistible conclusion that they are lying to the good people of this country. They have not corrected any of the issues we have raised. In any case, they didn't even detect the issues we did. You understand? They manipulated the register through their archives in the districts. And we, through our painstaking investigations, have unearthed all the discrepancies, irregularities, and in some cases, clear criminality which has taken place related to the 2024 Provisional Voters Register. So they should stop shifting the goalposts. Sometimes they come out to say, we are inviting the NDC to the discussion table. Please. This is not the time for discussions. This is the time for an audit.
So Sami, I was trying to find out from you that after your 1 week ultimatum, if nothing happens on the part of the EC, what next?
What you saw today is just a tip of the iceberg in terms of what we will do to demand transparency, fairness, accountability, and justice from the Electoral Commission. Now, we are not going to pick guns. We are not going to pick knives to kill anybody. We are not going to fight anybody. We are a law-abiding, peaceful political party. We are peaceful, law-abiding, and responsible citizens. And so we will do what the Constitution of Ghana allows us to do, which is to protest. And so we will hold protest after protest after protest, not only in regional capitals, but even in all district offices of the EC, to drum home the point, to bring sufficient pressure to bear on the Electoral Commission to do the needful. My brother, if you have done nothing wrong, if you have not manipulated the register, if the register, is sacrosanct as they claim, and they have nothing to hide, why are they running away from a simple audit? When they rather should be embracing the cause, they should actually be calling for an audit so that they can be vindicated, so that their integrity, can be recognized by the citizenry and all stakeholders. Once you see an electoral management body desperately trying to, avoid accountability and transparency, desperately trying to prevent an audit into the conduct of his affairs, the compilation of the register, then clearly you should know that there is something amiss. There is something they don't want political parties and the good people of Ghana to know.
Okay.
But they like that. Whether they like it or yes, we will get to the bottom of this matter.
Okay.
The illegal transfers must be, reversed. The deleted names of registered voters must be restored. The bloated register must be cleaned, and the weaknesses in the EC's IT system that allows unauthorized entries and placings, like it happened in the case of Pusiga, all that must be addressed so that we can have a robust IT system, a credible voters register that all of us can have confidence in.
Okay, Sammy, I'm grateful to you. Let me bring in Henry Nanabuache now, who is national organizer of the MPP. Henry, so you've heard the NDC that they've put forth their demands. Is it something the NPP is willing, in the interest of peace, as they put it, to support this request to ensure that the register is clean of every other external material?
Thank you very much. Good evening to your listeners. We in the MPP, we are fiercely and strongly going to oppose any attempt to introduce any external element or any private entity into the operations of the Electoral Commission. The independence of the Electoral Commission is firmly established. It is enshrined in the Constitution. I cannot wrap my head around the narrative that a certain independent private entity should be positioned on the head of the Electoral Commission to go into the fundamental document which is required for the electoral process. When the Electoral Commission is well and firmly established since we had this 1992 Constitution.
But Henry,
they have district officers. They have all the human resource. Because you see, if you cite an anomaly in Pusiga and you create the impression that the anomaly is widespread, and you are invited by the Electoral Commission, you are alleging, look, the figures they are alleging is alarming. If you say that you have identified some 240,000 illegal transfers, this is alarming. Electoral Commission says no. Yes, in the clear case of Pusiga, that is why inherent in the law and inherent again in the processes, we have what we call the exhibition process. The exhibition process itself takes care of all of these things. So if, and you see, the impression should not be created as though NDC, through certain intelligent work, undercovered.
But Henry, if there is nothing to hide, I don't mean you, but I mean if there is nothing for the EC to hide, what will it hurt if you open yourself up to that forensic audit they are calling for?
Why should we? Because there's nothing. Why should we, an independent body created by the Constitution, then you are saying that we should allow a certain entity to come and audit that independent body? Look, in 2016, when we requested for a mass registration register, what the Electoral Commission did was to put together a committee. It was headed by VCRAC Club. At the end of the day, the recommendations, among others, pointed to the fact that we just need to open up the exhibition process again so that all of us will take part, we will expunge those who are dead, we will get rid of all of these anomalies. And that was it. We never got the mass registration, the new register that we were seeking for. And in 2020, when the Electoral Commission announced its intention to create a new voters register, again, the same NDC, they embarked on regional demonstration exercises. What happened? We had a new register. And this, you see, the Supreme Court, in so many cases, the Palu case, the Abu Ramadan case, in so many cases, upheld the independence of the Electoral Commission and went further to state that nobody, not even the Supreme Court, can impose any obligation on the Electoral Commission.
Okay, so what kind of audit will the MPP support?
The register is already audited. The exhibition exercise, and we are going to go by the analogy of the NDC's national chairman, who in 2016 said that as part of our process, we have the exhibition exercise where everybody can go and check for yourself if there are any anomalies. And ask yourself, who alleged must prove. You NDC, you are saying you have some 240,000 illegal transfers. Electoral Commission says, let's have the evidence. You say, no, you are keeping it to your chest. I cannot wrap my head around this illogical position. You are alleging that the Electoral Commission is in cahoots with certain entities to transfer illegally certain votes. You have been told, bring your evidence. And then you are saying, no, you will not bring it, but rather conduct an audit into your exercise. So that what, if anybody sits anywhere, any day, any time, and say that, hey, easy, I don't trust what you are doing, so do this, then the EC will just follow. Hey, easy, you know what you are doing is unnecessary. So go this way, then the EC will go this way. What kind of
but Henry, when your government is the governing party, if this election is peaceful, it inures to your benefit. When stakeholders,
this election is going to be peaceful.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
When stakeholders are calling on the Electoral Commission to say, heed to the call, open yourself up to ensure that there's transparency. It's not in your interest as a governing party to say, okay, easy, let's go ahead, let's do it because there's nothing to hide.
But why should we position the Electoral Commission to this suggestion that if anybody should call, bring your evidence? Why are you not calling the NDC to submit their evidence? Look, in 2016, when we said we wanted a new voters register because ABCD, we were put before a committee. We did a presentation. Chairman McMenu did a solid presentation where he presented all our evidence. At the end of the day, the committee said, no, this is what we are going to do. We never fought. Bring your evidence. You are saying, no, bring your evidence. In fact, the media rather should be questioning the NDC. If you are alleging that we have some 240,000 illegal transfers, bring that evidence. You say, no, we are not going to bring it, but rather we are going to demonstrate. Okay, who are you going to demonstrate to? Who are you going to petition? At the end of the day, in all the regional offices, they went to the Electoral Commission's office. Electoral Commission says, my doors are open, even including my windows. If you want to come through the window, come, let's sit down, let's check it. You say, no, you will not bring your evidence. But you ended up submitting your petition to the Electoral Commission. I cannot understand this position. Look, we cannot position such an important electoral body with its independence firmly enshrined in the Constitution. Okay. We cannot be pushing the Commission in such a way that, look, anybody will say that, look, go this way, and then the Commission will go, come this way, and the Commission, no.
Harry Nanabuache, I'm grateful. Sami Jenfi, they say bring your evidence. Is a party willing to present that evidence? Okay. But this has been tough. So as you heard there, the MPP is not willing to support the NDC in this venture of getting the EC to undertake this forensic audit. But there's a lot more on this particular protest, nationwide protest coming up on Newsnight.
And indeed, thank you very much, Brace. And staying on this same topic, in Parliament, we're hearing from the minority. They will be forcing Parliament, as they've already indicated, to recall the House to conduct a forensic audit. As part of this protest today, we have the very latest for you on that here on Newsnight.
The NDC minority will immediately convene a caucus meeting and consider the need to recall Parliament to address this issue.
We'll also be across the country for you. We'll take you to the regional journey and bring you the comprehensive look at how different areas embarked on the Enough is Enough demonstration.
People have been transferred without their will, without their permission, and names are appearing double.
Ghana's democracy is extremely important to me. And what we are asking for, I've said it, is very simple. We just need a transparent election.
Plus, the NDC has issued a one-week ultimatum to the Electoral Commission to respond to their demands, or they will embark on further protests. You want to stay with us for all that here on Newsnight.
Also tonight, 5-member ad hoc committee on Galamsey begins to engage stakeholders after brief concerns from Labour. We're live at the Elisa Hotel for updates on the meetings, which ultimately must come up with better measures to effectively address the situation. And we'll also hear from the NPP flag bearer Mahmoud Baumia pledging to introduce a community mining scheme to ensure environmentally sustainable mining to eradicate Galamsey. And also, NDC rejects recent survey from the presidency which revealed that scandals and poor decisions could jeopardize NPP's chances of breaking the 8, predicting a potential runoff in the December 7 polls.
What it means is that you have lost. You've been rejected. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going to win the election because the NDC is more prepared.
We also hear from political parties and independent candidates that are racing against time to avoid possible disqualification as the Electoral Commission flags multiple flaws in their nomination forms.
There were some typos, and we presented the same list. The voter spelled the name and added a letter. So we have rectified that one and given it back to the EC.
In business, banks attribute Citi's marginal stability to improve data supply on the market.
In sports, Joy Sports coverage of the 2024-25 Champions League begins tonight with AC Milan taking on Liverpool at the San Siro.
And much later, Supreme Court Justice Gabriel Puaman expresses worry over the continued deteriorating living conditions of persons with disabilities despite the country's fine laws aimed at ensuring their welfare.
Determine the extent of improvement or deterioration in the conditions of persons with disability in Ghana. However, the anecdotal evidence inexhaustibly leads to the conclusion that as a nation, we are very, very far from where we ought to be with the welfare of persons with disability.
Plus the story of former President John Ojekum Kufuor as he advocates inclusivity and proper care for persons living with disability.
If anyone had said just 10 years ago that I will today be here in a wheelchair, perhaps he would have been disputed and damned as a false prophet. But his prophecy is the reality today.
That and more in tonight's edition of Newsnight. You want to join us with your thoughts, your comments via WhatsApp is 055-1111-997. We're live on X Spaces. We're on Facebook, myjoyonline.com, live in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, and also all affiliates across the country. I am Emefa Apau.
And my name is Evans Mensah. Details after this.
The more money promo now,
Everybody likes money, but what do we like more than money?
More money!
Join the Telecel More Money promo and win money, more money, and even more money. Simply opt in for free and reload your mobile and broadband and be the lucky winner of the 1 million Ghana cedis grand prize. Also win cash prizes of up to 3 million Ghana cedis in the daily and weekly draws. Opt in for free by dialing *500# or send WIN to 500, or you can opt in on the Telecel Play app. The more you reload, the higher chances of winning in the Telecel More Money promo. Keep loading, win, and be a millionaire.
Telecel. Connecting energies.
Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining in my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me dana mada with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Ghana Kron Kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, my name is Mami Akua, an entrepreneur and a mother of two. My work keeps me busy most of the time, and sometimes it takes me away from my family. But the safety and health of my family is very important to me. As a working mother, I cannot afford to take any chances when it comes to matters of health. That is why I signed up for a family health care plan from Equity Health Insurance. My family and I have access to over 700 hospitals, clinics, opticians, dentists, pharmacies, and diagnostic centers across the length and breadth of Ghana. With Equity Health Insurance, I no longer have to worry about medical bills. Anytime a member of my family visits a hospital, Equity Health Insurance has got my family and I covered. What about you? Who has got you covered?
Call Equity Health Insurance on 050-660-7910 and talk to them about your family health needs now. Visit equityhealthinsurance.com for more information. Equity Health Insurance, here for you.
Wani ohia Hilachamo Insurance Ulue Lele Hilachamo Insurance Ulue wo chufan sort to ife ohai enumo ahinyoji Insurance Ulue buo wo hikajo hilai babao ahi ekoji beke biashi cancer ni fear of fo dan ke hime hilai Insurance Ulue wo nyojimfe ni komusumo ke emlinsaji ni ke ofotetepo kachon bejiano to sort to ni ake fole kaimo ake owo nyomokokra keji oyi afi nyomai paokese ka aha mokokra lakapo Gmo my NHIS app keja Google Play Store low App Store low ya NHIS luchumo heni bankable ke hawamo yegbejiano to fe ano cha 054 444 6447 low 0302 74 6447 Kabiniana chomu NHIS bechomo ke ha hiwale papa US8 jimeni ngo adafitra ne ha eyi ha won fe sivioti so come.
It's alive, your News Night is enjoying 99.7 FM. We're staying on the protest today across the country by the National Democratic Congress demanding a forensic audit into the voters register. And we have been hearing in the last hour from the NDC, they've now issued to the Electoral Commission a 1-week ultimatum for the EC to address their demands, or there will be further protest across the country. We'll be hearing from the NDC's communications officer pretty shortly. But today, MFR Powell, the national chairman himself, led this protest. And at the Electoral Commission, he did not mince words in laying out their host of demands that they want the Electoral Commission to deal with. Listen to John Sasudin Kitia.
The National Democratic Congress, in the spirit of safeguarding Ghana's democratic process for free, fair, transparent, and peaceful elections, on December 7, 2024, respectfully petition the Electoral Commission to do the following. Number 1, permit an independent forensic audit of the voter register and the Commission's IT systems, which we suspect have been seriously compromised, because we have seen actions they have sworn by the gods of Ghana to us that those actions can never happen behind our backs. But they themselves have attested to the fact that those very actions have taken place through manipulation of their system. Number 2, we demand that the Commission convene stakeholders for collaboration. The Electoral Commission should urgently convene a meeting with all political parties, civil society organizations, and key international stakeholders, including ECOWAS, who are fond of deploying only military when there is crisis. We want them to come and help us take preemptive actions against crisis that is brewing. It takes money, time, and effort. Africa Union, UNDP, European Union, and USAID, the British High Commission, and others to discuss the forensic audit and ensure collective oversight of our electoral process. We demand that the Electoral Commission will agree to publish the findings of any such forensic audits and make them public and available to ensure transparency, accountability, fairness, and integrity of the 2024 general elections. If the findings of the forensic audit suggest, as we believe, that the register has been badly compromised, then we demand that there will be a re-exhibition of the register after the forensic audit so that we'll be able to check everything that has gone wrong in the register and prepare ourselves for a credible election. We want the Commission to review and correct all the unauthorized transfers which they themselves have admitted to. We want the Commission to institute accountability and integrity measures to ensure that what we are witnessing now will never happen in systems. It is in your interest that we all look for it. Correct.
That's the chairman of the NDC, Johnson Asiedun Ketia. We'll be hearing from the minority leader, also making that push for a recall of Parliament to be able to compel the EC to conduct that forensic audit. But we can hear from the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jimfi, in the last few minutes telling us about that 1 week ultimatum that they are giving to the Electoral Commission.
We have decided to wait for just a week to know how they are going to respond. It is our expectation that they will do the needful because clearly the intransigence they are displaying is not in the interest of Ghana. It is not even in their own interest. Look, Ghana is the only country we have. Many Ghanaians, those who came ahead of us, our forebears, have made sacrifices for the peace and stability we enjoy today. The least the G-Nelson-led Electoral Commission can do is to preserve the peace we are enjoying. Elections are important because they are the platform through which the people choose who their leaders are.
So Sami, I was trying to find out from you that after your 1 week ultimatum, if nothing happens on the part of the EC, what next?
What you saw today is just a tip of the iceberg in terms of what we will do to demand transparency, fairness, accountability, and justice from the Electoral Commission. Now, we are not going to pick guns. We are not going to pick knives to kill anybody. We are not going to fight anybody. We are a law-abiding, peaceful political party. We are peaceful, law-abiding, and responsible citizens. And so we will do what the Constitution of Ghana allows us to do, which is to protest. And so we will hold protest after protest after protest, not only in regional capitals, but even in all district offices of the EC, to drum home the points, to bring sufficient pressure to bear on the Electoral Commission to do the needful. My brother, if you have done nothing wrong, if you have not manipulated the register, if the register, is sacrosanct as they claim, and they have nothing to hide, why are they running away from a simple audit?
So that's the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, a while ago, on Top Story, on that one-week ultimatum that you're giving to the Electoral Commission in terms of the conduct of the forensic audit, for which reason they embarked on that nationwide enough is enough demo. I think it's a good time to hit the regions to find out how that demonstration was observed in the entire country. And maybe we start with my colleague Anas Sabit, who monitored the protest from the Bono East region. Let's hear his report.
So this is the Bono East regional portion of the Enough is Enough demonstration, an exercise that has been conducted by the National Democratic Congress, expressing their displeasure with the conduct of the Electoral Commission. They are calling for the EC to audit the current voters register, but the EC, according to them, is not heeding to this particular call. So as I speak to you, all 11 parliamentary candidates of the National Democratic Congress within the Bono East region are here to participate in this exercise. We've been speaking with some prominent individuals within the party, including some MPs who are here to place an education. And let's listen to what they've been telling us in relation to why this exercise is pretty important to members of the National Democratic Congress. Very important to me because Ghana's democracy is extremely important to me. And what we are asking for, I've said it, is very simple. We just need a transparent election. We need an independent audit. We need something that will let people trust in our democracy. So we are calling the EC, we are calling the American Embassy, we are calling the EU. Everybody that matters in Ghana should come out and tell these people to at least understand what we are asking for.
And the call on the EU is one that we've been focusing on. We've seen some international organizations like ECOWAS now speaking to us about whether or not they will participate or finance an audit of the register. We'll get into that pretty shortly, but I want to take you to the northern region where there have been allegations today as part of the protest of an attempt by the Electoral Commission to rig the 2024 elections. Martina Bugri has more.
Supporters defied the heavy downpour and poured out in their numbers to protest against the EC. Those who could not join the protest stood on the shoulders of the road cheering them out. Some of the slogans that were heard were Sheko Shebe Katidago, which literally means you either step down or we push you out. Some of the placards read enough is enough, audits are registered, we want free and fair elections, among others. Speaking after the presentation of the petition, the Northern Regional Chairman of the NDC, Adolf Ali, said if other constituencies in the MPP presidential elections had scrutinized their results properly, they would have found similar irregularities that annulled the Wali elections, adding that it is the same tactics the EC wants to use to get the MPP to power.
MPP, when they say they are going to break the 8, they don't have the moral right to rule Ghana 1 second after 7th December 2024. And so when they are saying they want to break the 8, these are some of the things that they have at the back of their minds, and so they talk the way they are talking. What is it? Bawumia's home yard, Bawumia's backyard in Wale. What didn't happen?
The Northern Regional Secretary of the NDC, Mohammed Abdul Salam, said they will continue to protest until the EC address their concern.
Well, from the northern region, let me take you to the Upper West region, where our regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from WA.
Hoisting aloft dozens of placards, some of which read, "Where are the voices of concerns? Speak up. Ghana is in the hands of wrong Ghanaians. When the wicked rules, the people suffer. Peace starts with credible register. EC, we need proof that the register is robust. Allow for audit now. And Jane Mensa is a national disgrace." The demonstrators couple of times paused at the main traffic light at Sakwairi and at the Sano corner at Poguri for an address from the various parliamentary candidates and the party's regional chairman.
Because it's overbloated, people have been transferred without their will, without their permission, and names are appearing double. This register is not fit for purpose. And after that forensic audit, we are asking that we should have another exhibition for us to all see. Without fair, credible, and transparent elections, we cannot have peace in this country. We are mandated to ensure free, fair, and credible elections. We are not tolerating anything short of a credible voters register.
Amid the handing over of the petition to the Upper West Regional Director of the EC, Ali Osman Adamu, by the Upper West Regional Chairman of the party, Chairman Munas, were burning of car ties and singing of revolutionary songs from the supporters. Ali Osman Adamu, upon receiving the petition, pledged to do the needful.
Right from here, a scanned copy of this petition will be sent to the head office of the commission very urgently. And then the hard copy will also move from WA to the head office today. So that's the assurance I can give you. I will only be a conduit to send these things to the head office, and I will definitely do that.
Reporting for the news, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Well, so that's Rafiq Salam's report. Well, we've been joined in the studio also by our correspondent who's been following the flag bearer. I'm sure many are wondering where the flag bearer was in all this, but Maxwell, stay with me. We'll come to you shortly. Sure. But let's hear from a deputy commissioner in charge of operations at the Electoral Commission, Samuel Tete, who received the petition from the NDC's chairman, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, earlier today, and assured the NDC that their demands will be looked into.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Thank you very much, and let me welcome you to the corporate head office of the Commission. On behalf of the Commission, I will receive your petition, and I will assure you that your petition will be presented to the Commission for consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So that's Mr. Samuel Tete there. They went to Parliament also, is within the same vicinity, and receiving this particular petition. The minority leader, Dr. Kesa Latofosi, also says his side will meet to consider pushing for a recall of Parliament to look into the request by the NDC. He spoke after he received the NDC petition on behalf of the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin.
Well, let me say that no one should be allowed to mess with the peace of our country. We cannot allow the Electoral Commission to destroy the most enduring democracy of this republic. Unfortunately, this petition is coming at a time that Parliament is on recess. But I strongly believe that if there is anything that will warrant an emergency recall of Parliament, this is certainly one of them. So the NDC minority will immediately convene a caucus meeting and consider the need to recall Parliament to address this issue. We consider this as an emergency, and just like my colleague has done in the past, we will do similar by recalling Parliament to address the very concerns that you have raised. We thank you very much for this opportunity.
And he had this response from the majority leader, Alexander Fenyomake.
I agree with the minority leader that as a house, we may have to look at the issues presented, and I encourage all stakeholders to also avail themselves. I standing here is on record of having taken EC to the Supreme Court to stop a whole Great Assembly elections for some irregularities and illegalities, and I made my case at the Supreme Court. That's a matter of record. And I believe that if there are genuine concerns, we can all raise it and discuss them on the table by following lawful means. So I thank you for making time to get to us. I'm sure Mr. Speaker would hear your prayer.
And that's the Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyo Marking there, receiving that petition together with the Minority Leader, Dr. Kesa Latuforsin. And I indicated earlier that my colleague, Maxwell Agbagba, is with us in the studios. He's an embed with the flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama's team. And people are wondering where the flag bearer is himself. Maxwell, you've been finding out.
Yeah, so we know that he wasn't at any of the protests today. He ended his tour, the second phase of the Greater Accra Regional Tour, yesterday, very late in the evening, sometime around 11 p.m. in the Dome-Kwabena constituency. And he's scheduled to actually start his tour of the Hafo region today and then end that on the 19th September. From people we've been hearing from, we are told that he has the firm belief that the top brass of the party would be able to represent him and then communicate whatever that he wanted. We would have loved to communicate to the party members, there. So he was represented by the top brass of the party, but he was not present at any of the protests in any of the regions. Yeah.
Well, I must say that Evan's great reporting from Maxwell Agbagba and the team on the ground, Sarah Mensah and the team.
Yeah, it was
covered, and they're across the country as well, at least.
Yeah.
At least
it was a long walk.
Yeah, very long walk.
More than 5 kilometers, yeah.
I'm sure you've lost a lot today from the banku that you've eaten.
10 kg.
Thank you, Maxwell Agbagba and the team, for that coverage of the Enough is Enough demonstration across the country.
I want to bring in right now the chairperson of the Civic Forum Initiative, Dr. Angela Dramana-Boajo, who joins us on the line right now. Dr. Dramana-Boajo, thanks for your time here on Newsnight.
Thank you.
I noticed that you back an independent audit of the voters register. Why?
Well, we think that it's important for us to have a credible register. We think that the EC is working hard at it, and we also know that the NDC has raised issues about the register. We are not even thinking about a forensic audit. I think we can come to the table and agree on a very reasonable way of auditing this register to the satisfaction of all parties. And believe me, it's beyond the NDC. It's for all Ghanaians. So if such issues have been raised, some of which have been shared with the EC and the public, I think that it's okay if we have a sort of an independent audit.
Have you reached out to the EC already on this?
Well, we started talking, and I'm sure it will continue.
But if you listen to the EC, there's no basis for an audit, whether independent or forensic.
Yes, but I think that when two parties sit at the table, and even beyond the two parties, other parties join, we can come to some agreement about what's possible. So we shouldn't shut the door. The EC hasn't shut its door to dialogue. Okay, I'm sure the NDC, being a reasonable party, would also continue to dialogue. And I think that when two people are reasonable enough, or two parties are reasonable, they can reach an applicable agreement that everybody can live by.
What about the NDC? Have you reached out to them?
That's also started.
But their position sounds very entrenched. They want this or nothing else. In fact, today they've issued a one-week ultimatum to the Electoral Commission to comply, or we're going to see more protests.
Well, I'm sure that the NDC wants to keep Ghana together so that if it should come into power, it will have people to rule over, okay? So, I mean, even though they have every right to demonstrate and so on, how long can it go on? At a point, we all have to break and sit down at the table. And mediating is nothing new. Okay, it happens all across our sub-region. It happens in globally and so on. So this is something that I believe it's a bridge we will cross.
When you request for an independent audit, is it based on an assumption at the Civic Forum Initiative that there may be something fundamentally flawed with the register as we have it?
It may not even be fundamentally flawed, okay? But there may be flaws. There may be errors. As a country, we want to have a certain kind of a register that we can all be very confident in. If you disenfranchise 3, 4, 5 people, that's one more than enough, okay? So as much as possible, at CFI, we believe that we should have a credible register. And I believe the EC is working hard at it. The only thing is that a party has raised issues, okay, and they feel very strongly about it, what do? We need to get them to sit at the table, and other parties should join them. And we are pretty sure there will be a breakthrough. We will come to some agreement, because on December 7th, we will go to the elections. And when we go, we'll have to vote for this person or the other. It's important that we sit down.
Thank you very much. That there is Dr. Angela Dramana-Boadjeh. She is the chairperson of the Civic Forum Initiative. We have a statement now from the police.
Giving an update on everything that transpired today across the 16 regions, they begin by thanking the general public for their cooperation. They also talk about the fact that the demonstration ended peacefully in all locations, with the exception of an isolated incident at Kumasi in the Ashanti region. They give further details to what exactly happened in Kumasi. They say, contrary to the arrangement agreed between the police and the organizers, the demonstrators attempted to push their way into the premises of the Electoral Commission and pelted the police with stones. The police managed to bring the situation under control and calm was restored. However, one police officer was injured during the incident and he is currently receiving medical attention. And it adds that the Inspector General of Police himself, Dr. George Akufu-Dampare, has reached out to this particular police officer via telephone call and wished him well, and that the police has since commenced investigations into the incident, and goes on to thank all stakeholders, including the organizers, the demonstrators, the Electoral Commission, the media, and the commuting public for their cooperation throughout the exercise. And it concludes by saying that the IGP and the entire leadership of the police service is expressing their profound gratitude to all police officers across the country for their continuous patriotic dedication and commitment to security, law and order in our beloved country.
And we've also heard from ECOWAS today, and they say that the state institution, the Electoral Commission, has the capacity to conduct an audit, and the calls to the likes of ECOWAS and the UNDP is one that they've heard, but they rather leave that decision to the Electoral Commission. There's a lot on this across our social media platforms and on myjoyonline.com. You can follow that for yourself. And Georgia Face here, though, with business. And
right after business, we'll take you to the Elisa Hotel, where the ad hoc committee on Galamsey meeting with organized labor ends inconclusive as TUC places 6 new demands before government, demanding engagement with chiefs and other stakeholders. Let's do business now. George, what do we have?
Well, MFA coming up in business. Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison highlights progress made to de-risk the agricultural sector as more commercial banks are now lending to businesses and firms in that space. And UK government announces a £2 million fund to support technological innovation in Ghana and Nigeria. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, Syntax Tanks, and Pepsodent Herbal and Charcoal.
You see them. You see them every day in our communities, doing what they do best to make a difference in the lives of people. You see them. You see them bring positive transformation to the lives of people in the areas of education, health, and economic empowerment. While many will see them and turn their faces away, you see them. You see their efforts, and you know they're heroes who deserve to be celebrated. MTN Heroes of Change is setting out to unearth and to celebrate a new set of heroes. You can throw the light on the heroes you see in your community by nominating them to win 100,000 Ghana cedis and other prizes to help them expand their work. Just fill an online nomination form at mtn.com.gh or send a WhatsApp with a 1-minute video of your nominee's project on 055 141 1122. Deadline for nominations is 18th October 2024, so don't waste time. Nominate your hero now. MTN Heroes of Change. Be the change you wish to see.
Hooray! Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited's back-to-school promotion is here with us once again. From August to September this year, Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is giving a generous 10 to 20% discount on all school items like textbooks, pens, pencils, erasers, exercise books, and much more across all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takrade, Winneba, and Cape Coast. Parents, teachers, and students, please hurry while stocks last. For more information, call us on 0506 487 037-557 or 0302-764-209 or via email at info@kingdomgh.com. You can also visit our website www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are both assured. Terms and conditions apply.
Supposed to happen, let me find the
Yeah. We have a new leader in town. Obiarenti. Amanfo. Madam was Sibebre. When him say my baby, maybe mamu more charcoal for whiter teeth. More charcoal. Not only that, maybe mamu lemon. More lemon. Zinc for fresher breath. More zinc. And fluoride for stronger teeth.
Introducing the new President Charcoal Pack with more power with a combination of charcoal and lemon for naturally whiter teeth. Grab yours now. This advert is FDA approved.
National Health Insurance.
Great news! The National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS) has waived the waiting period for all members aged 70 years and above. All 70 years and above are also exempted from paying a premium. Enrollment and renewal are absolutely free on the NHIS. Members who are 70 years and above can automatically access healthcare when they newly register with the NHIS or renew their membership annually. You are no longer required to serve the 1-month waiting period for late renewals. Dad, mom, grandpa, and grandma, let your old age be filled with good health and access instant healthcare at zero cost on the NHIS today. Download the My NHIS mobile app to register with your Ghana card or visit the nearest NHIS office. Terms and conditions apply. For details, contact the NHIS call center on 054-444-6447 or 0302-746-447. NHIS, your access to quality healthcare. This message is brought to you by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
The luckiest. Star 712 hash. Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Welcome and now for a daily star 712 hash and found no regrets. A side comma investors are a striking gold. A comma health workers are a diagnosing luck with precision. A side comma that tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. Say a comma passionate fan or also entering containing a joy. After to the stresser or turning a hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now a comma if you say your next big win is right here.
Dial star 712 hash and join the luckiest winning celebration. From the 1st of July 2024, dial star 712 hash to keep buying tickets as a group, individual, or even as a community. Win loads of cash and prizes in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Join the winning streak now.
The luckiest. Star 712 hash. Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah, the luckiest.
You welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison has highlighted program made by the central bank to help de-risk the agricultural sector. The governor has been talking about how the establishment of the Ghana incentive-based risk-sharing system, agricultural lending, has also helped in improving lending to that area, which used to be a challenge in the past. The governor was speaking at the 5th anniversary launch and the Rubber Chain Conference in Accra.
Over the past 5 years, GESEL has issued credit guarantees valued at over 604 million Ghana cedis to 17 financial institutions, covering up to 70% of credit default risks. Under the Credit Guarantee Scheme, GESEL has launched or channeled 1.8 billion of Ghana cedis worth of loans at relatively lower interest rates to about 137 agri-businesses located in 72 districts across 15 regions. In its operations, GESEL recognized the untapped potential in the rubber sector and stepped in to facilitate the entry of indigenous processors.
Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison. Now, the UK government has announced the setting up of a £2 million fund to strengthen science, technology and innovation in Ghana and Nigeria. The UK Minister for Africa, Lord Collins, made this known at the short ceremony in Accra to announce call for proposals to fund the fund.
It was a great first step to attract potential investors and donors, and I'm sure many more steps will follow. That brings me to the second thing that the United Kingdom is doing to boost our partnership, and it gives me great pleasure to launch this Sankoli call for proposals in partnership with the governments of Ghana and Nigeria. Named after the historic Sekolah University, that renowned medieval centre of learning, the fund will provide almost £2 million to strengthen technology and innovation across West Africa.
Lord Collins is the UK Minister for Africa. Now, more firms are reducing the price of petroleum products at the pumps. The latest is Petrosol, which has dropped the price of petrol by some significant margin. It's selling a litre at 12 Ghana cedis, 88 pesos. Diesel, on the other hand, is also going for 13 Ghana cedis, 98 pesos. The development has been linked to the cedi's marginal stability and the continuous reduction in the price of crude oil on the international market. Meanwhile, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers has maintained that it was surprised by the marginal reduction put out by most of the oil marketing companies. Duncan Amwa is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers.
We're looking at between 4 and 5%. The market has responded with about 8%. And overall, that should be some good news for those of us running the streets, buying fuel, morning to evening. And this for us is a very positive development. Again, we foresee a situation where prices could decline further even in the coming weeks, especially for the month of October. November, December, we cannot say, because if you check the price curve, those are very tight months where China, India, the US would demand more for manufacturing. And so oftentimes that's where the curve would bend again. But between now and end of October, if we are able to do, some currency management, there's every indication the market could be far as fuel prices.
Duncan Amwa is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. Now, telecoms firm MTN has pledged its commitment to grow the local economy by supporting more small businesses. Chief Executive Stephen Blowett noted that it is offering targeted solutions to address the needs of small firms could help accelerate the growth of the sector. He spoke at the 2024 Ghana Industrial Summit, an expo where MTN adored its Yellow Biz, the holistic business solutions for small businesses.
And our commitment is to be a part of growing the economy, but in particular in dealing with small and medium enterprises, because we have small and medium enterprises that supply us as MTN. Supporting the value chain is important to us. And as part of that commitment, we're launching today Yellow Biz, which is an innovative and creative solution that our enterprise team has put together. And this product will allow SMEs to not only connect, it gives them a device to connect, but it gives them access to the Microsoft 365 suite to help them to grow their businesses. Because for us as MTN, the more successful enterprises are in Ghana, especially SMEs, the more successful we are.
Stephen Blowett is the Chief Executive of MTN Ghana. And that's all for Business on Newsnight. Back to you, Evans.
And you're still live here on Newsnight. It's on Joy 99.7 FM, and I'll be sharing your thoughts with the rest of the world pretty shortly here on the program. I will also be taking you into the election headquarters pretty soon also. And a report about teen pregnancy you want to look forward to here on your election headquarters.
Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants CIMA, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants AICPA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental, Wellness and Beauty, Chopbox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development.
And then the National Democratic Congress is rejecting findings of a recently conducted survey by the Director of Research at the Office of the President, Jubilee House, which says scandals and poor decisions could jeopardize the MPP's chances of breaking the 8 in the December 7 elections. A leaked document authored by the Director of Research at the Presidency, Dr. Isaac Owusu, revealed the runoff in the presidential elections. The report says that the NDC, or the MPP, will secure enough, an outright majority in the first round. My colleague Elton Broby has more in this report.
Joy News understands that the survey was commissioned by the presidency to assess the popularity of the MPP and its candidate, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, ahead of the December 7 presidential election. The survey, which included views from over 28,000 voters across the 276 constituencies, showed that 80% of participants have already decided which party they will support. The findings suggest a split in voter preference, with 46.3% of respondents prepared to vote for the NDC and the same percentage for the MPP, indicating that neither party is likely to achieve a clear majority. Additionally, the survey identifies a segment of undecided voters, 9% who have chosen not to participate primarily due to dissatisfaction with politicians. A notable 7% cited the election day as a holy Sabbath day, particularly in the Western, Bono, Ahafo, Western North, and the Ashanti regions. Despite this segment, the strong alignment and high decision rate among majority of voters suggests their impact may not be sufficient to avoid a runoff. The report also highlights that former President John Mahama currently has higher visibility in the constituencies compared to Vice President Dr. Bawumia. A further breakdown shows that the MPP Bawumia is popular among Christian voters, whilst the NDC Mahama is popular among Muslim voters, including the Zongos. Other key findings in the report include the fact that 60% of voters base their choice on party manifestos. There are also some takeaways for the government. Scandals and bad decisions of government stand tall. According to the report, these create a necessary disaffection within the party as well as amongst independent-minded voters. The report also identified voter apathy as a major threat to the MPP in the December elections, especially among core supporters in the party's strongholds.
Well, responding to the findings, the NDC says they will win the elections in one round. Mustafa Gbande is the Deputy General Secretary.
After so-called one village, one dam, one district, one factory, Agenda 111, planting for food and jobs, $1 million, one constituency, and all NAPCO and all of that. You claim you have done all of this. They claim Ghanaians are satisfied. In the history of this country, from the time of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, no president have developed Ghana like. If you are still battling with incompetent NDC at 46.what%? 3. 2.5 months to elect, it means you have lost. What it means is that you have lost. You've lost, you've been rejected. If they were saying that they were even doing 55%, then I will be a bit scared. It
doesn't scare you at all.
No. What it means is that you have lost. Because, look, they have normalized corruption. They have normalized opulent behaviors. They have normalized everything unthinkable in governance. They have abused state institutions. They've collapsed companies. Businesses are folding up. Investor confidence is dead. Of course, what else will you expect? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going to win the election because the NDC is more prepared, fortified, ready, deliberate and intentional about winning the 2024 election.
Well, the MPP's flag bearer, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, has been campaigning in the Greater Accra region today. He's been in the Katamansa constituency, where he's been promising to introduce community mining schemes that will ensure that small-scale mining industry is sanitized and regularized.
Is that we are a country of religious tolerance, peace and religious tolerance. In my own family, half of us, my father had 17 children, 9 of us are Christians, 8 of us are Muslims, right in my own family. And even though I am a Muslim as vice president, I am also the patron of the Methodist Boys Brigade of Ghana. And this is what is beautiful about our country, that we are able to live with each other in peace and in tolerance. So if by the grace of God I become president of this country, I will be a president for all of Ghana. Whether
And that is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on the campaign trail. It's now time for sports, and Cranton is here.
Hi, Evans. Let's go straight into the stories and Joy Sports coverage of the 2024-25 UEFA Champions League campaign starts later tonight at 7 p.m. on Hits FM. Featured game is between AC Milan and then Liverpool. It is a repeat of the 2007 and the 2005 UEFA Champions League finals. A couple of games have already happened today. Juventus, they were 3-1 winners over PSV, as well as Aston Villa beating Young Boys of Bern by 3-0. That brings an end to sports. Back to you, Evans.
Thank you very much, Cranton. So live here on Newsnight on Joy 99.7 FM.
And it's time for hashtag No to Galamsey. And that 5-member ad hoc committee set up by government have been locked up in deliberation with stakeholders over the devastating Galamsey menace. Evans, last night you were engaging Labour on this particular issue, whether they will be part of this meeting. There were meetings they held today. After that meeting, they agreed to meet the 5-member ad hoc committee in spite of the earlier stance that they took. Well, the committee chaired by the Minister for National Security, Albert Kandapa, is expected to assess the effectiveness of the measures implemented to address the environmental damage caused by illegal mining across the country, and then also recommend better measures government can adopt effectively to address the situation. There was a development at today's meeting, and my colleague James Kwesi Aveji has been there all day for our speech camp there and joins us in studio. What happened?
Well, MFA, the other members of the committee, which are the Lands Minister himself, the Information Minister, the Defense Minister, as well as the Labour Relations Ministers, were all in that meeting, and that happened between them and the organised labour. After the meeting, they wouldn't let us in, and so we caught up with organised labour General Secretary, Mr. Joshua Ansah, who said that their demands have increased from 3 to 6 other meeting.
Originally in our press statement it was 3, inclusive additional ABC, making it 6, but in disguise it was 3. State of emergency, declaring state of emergency, deploying the police, and also revocation of the LI 2462. Now, at this meeting, we have added 3 more important additions, and they are the EI 234 to be revoked. Number 2, chiefs who are the custodians of our lands are to be brought on board. I mean, the various stakeholders who matters in this matter are to be brought on board. And finally, depoliticization of this Galamsey menace. The one party is saying that when I come to office, I will allow. One party is saying that I will not allow. They are jeopardizing with our lives. And Ghana is not for NDC, Ghana is not for MPP. So what organized labor is demanding is that both parties, including others who want to rule this country, should be asked or compelled to sign a pact on their position on this Galamsey menace. Whether you want power or want to come to power, let us know your position on this Galamsey menace before it is too late. We are giving them up to a week for them to declare and sign on this pact. We are going to work on it. We are not going to allow this pact to be prepared by them. We are going to prepare it to the way we want it to be done.
As you know, that's surprising because yesterday, like I said, Labour, first starting with the Federation of Labour, Abraham Kumsin told you right here on Newsnight that they were not going to attend that particular meeting. The Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining also mentioned that they were not going to attend. TUC also mentioned that they were going to have meetings and then decide whether to attend. At least they were there. Did you see the Media Coalition?
Media Coalition was absent. In fact, I spoke with the convener, Kenashigbe, and he said that until their demand for state of emergency is declared, they have no business meeting anyone from government on this. But all the same, they'll be meeting next week with a larger group to see the way forward.
That's the ad hoc committee.
The ad hoc committee will have another meeting with a larger. Today's have been mainly organized labor, so we'll see which other groups will be attending next week.
Okay, we'll continue to follow that ad hoc committee then.
And you're live here on Newsnight. Now, rising teenage pregnancies in Mafi Amfoy in the central Tong district of the Volta region is causing deep concern among community leaders. 17-year-old Adam, now a mother of 6-month-old baby, struggles with poverty and the burden of raising her child. Adam's path mirrors that of many girls in her village, where early motherhood often traps them in a cycle of hardship. With education disrupted, Adam fears returning to school may remain out of reach. Emmanuel Jibunu reports.
Just like an unwelcome weed in a fertile soil, teenage pregnancy has got community leaders worried.
Most of the youth now are dropout. Some because after their GSS, they don't have any other way to do. It is creating a lot of teenage pregnancy in the community.
Meet 17-year-old mother Edem. She's currently nursing a 6-month-old baby. Life is difficult for the family, and to even afford one meal a day is a luxury. Edem recounts how she was lured into having sex with a male friend when he promised to cater for her.
I got pregnant in class 6. My parents were unable to cater for me. One boy in our community said he'll cater for me. After some time, he forced and had sex with me and got me pregnant.
Her education is disrupted because parenting has now taken the front role.
The pregnancy has really affected my education. It may take a very long time to return to school. My child would have to start walking before I return to school.
Teenage parents, particularly mothers, usually struggle to provide for themselves and their babies. This often leads to a cycle of poverty.
At times, we sleep on empty stomach when my auntie is unable to provide us food.
Delight gave birth just after completing senior high school. She felt indebted to a lotto agent who had supported her through school after her mother died.
When I was schooling, I see the system is hard for my parents. Across the side, I took a guy that he was also helping me.
To be able to fend for herself and her 6-month-old baby, she helps in the gari processing business. Delight yearns for a return to school.
I'm in the house. And it happened. Financial problem. If not, it will not happen like this. And along the way, I don't even know my father. It was only my mother throughout. So you know the pressure that she will be having. By now, I'm selling some soapy. I'm packing the profit. So if time goes on, I will go back to school again.
There is, however, the need to go beyond addressing the immediate consequences of teenage pregnancies.
Employment is one. These days, our youth, though they are in agriculture, but they also need some technical skills. If they are trained in other fields to help the youth for this community to develop their self.
The community's involvement, along with concerted efforts from educational institutions, healthcare providers, and local authorities, will play a pivotal role in fostering an environment that encourages growth, understanding, and ultimately a brighter future for the upcoming generation. Emmanuel Juvenu for Joy Prime.
And my name is Evan Spencer.
I am MFA Pau, and that's how we wrap up tonight's edition of Newsnight. It's time for the geeks to take over. Hey, Mr. Awachi is here. What's up? What are we talking about tonight?
We are talking about apps and devices that will help you to distress. That's what we're talking about today.
I'm so happy.
I also need that too.
We can't wait. You want to stay for the geeks?
The woman can't sleep. She works
says the
24
person,
hours.
Says the person that stays up all the way to 3 a.m.
I got infected actually by the bag that you gave me. So she needs it.
We all need it. We're staying.
Yeah. So
okay.
This is your show.
Yes, it is.